What is going on, everybody? Today in Fisch, I'm gonna show you how to trade better so you can make more money and get better stuff. So I'm showing you trades with fishy raw skins and boats. And then after that, I'm gonna go to the aquarium. Because over here, you could make a lot of money. But first, I'm gonna show you how to make better trades. For the most part, I'm gonna be using mock trades. So I can create real scenarios with trading. Trust me, doing it this way is so much easier. If I did real trades, it would take me so long. But also at the same time, I wanna keep my skins. But before I start trading, there's a few things you gotta know. We're gonna be having high demand items, medium demand items, and also low demand items. You can call them low demand or risky items. So with high demand items, you can do a profit of 10 to 15%. So for example, let's say you have a fishy raw skin that's worth $100 million, right? I want to try to make between 110 to 150 million. So yeah, 10 to $50 million profit is pretty nice. But eventually when you get into the billions, you're gonna make way more money over time. But now with the medium demand item, it's a little bit different. Let's say for example, the fishy raw skin is worth $100 million, right? If you sell it, you want to make 120 or 125 million. And the reason why you increase the margin just in case the demand drops, or it just takes way too long to trade the fishy raw skin or boat. So that's why you want some margin just in case that happens. But now for the last one and the worst one, low demand items or risky items. And this is where a lot of people lose a lot of money. Let's say for example, you have a fishy raw skin that's worth $100 million, right? And they tell you, hey, I can offer you for this item $180 million. You're gonna be like, whoa, that's amazing. Let's do it. Now on paper, it sounds great, but you shouldn't do it. Now the reason why this person is overpaying is because the items he's trading you cannot be sold. Basically, nobody's buying them. So normally what you can do, you could say it's an overpay, but these items are not being traded. So you definitely have to be mindful of what you're trading because you could get scammed pretty hard. The issue is there's only two ways you can know how much an item is worth. It's going to be the average price you get when you click something. For example, a love bite. So right here, they're selling it for $1 billion. Let's see the average price. And it's going to be $695 million. Even though you see the average price, you shouldn't trust it that much. Because if I'm being honest, for me, this is the first time I've seen this being sold. So as an example, this would be considered a risky item. Instead of $700 million, you could say, let me get 400 million. Another example is this one, Memories of Gold. You were able to buy this from the shop, but at the same time, it was a skin code. And they're selling it for $300 million. But if I click it, it's going to tell you 52.55. I'm going to be honest with this one, it's so common. But let's say, for example, you're like 52 million. I feel like it's less. Maybe 20 or $30 million, but I'm not sure. You can use a spreadsheet to see how much it's worth. So if I zoom in, it's going to tell you right here a value of $75 million. So as you can see, the average on the spreadsheet is way more than in game. But there's one more problem with this. If you look closer, it'll tell you demand 3 out of 10. If I were to offer for this, I would pay between $30 to $40 million. But like I said before, you don't have to accept all trades. Okay, here's a good one. The Seastrom Fishy Raw skin. As you can see, they're selling it for 9.99 trillion. They're not going to try to sell it for money. They want fishy raw skins or boats. But if you click it, you'll see average price $15 billion. And right now on the spreadsheet, we don't see Seastrom. So yeah, we might be kind of cooked. But the good thing about this is it's a high demand item. So yeah, as of right now, this is going to be your only reference while trying to trade for it. And by the way, do not trust it 100%. And I do have an example. So in this screenshot, they're offering Seastrom for $10 billion. And this person will overpay because they want the fishy raw skin. If you look closer, these items are 10 billion, 7 billion, 7.5 billion, and 5 billion. So in total, they're making a profit of $20 billion. The person trading the Seastrom, they made a massive profit, but most likely they want the skin just to use it. If you have no idea what's the value, do not trade for it. I would give it at least a week. So in this situation, you could lose a lot of money or gain a lot of money. Ooh, look at this one. Scar Wing Fishy Raw skin. They want $200 billion. But if I click it, it's going to tell you 98 billion. That is a massive margin. I'm going to look at the spreadsheet. So Scar Ring, $130 billion. With a demand 7 out of 10. That's pretty good. I think a fair offer would be like $150 billion. But there is a chance they might tell you they want more money. They might tell you, I want $180 billion. And if I'm being honest, I would decline it. But now let me do some mock trades. Okay, for this one, I'm gonna do some new fishy raw skins. Let me try this one, the 11 skin. So basically what they're gonna do, they're gonna lowball me every single time. So the value in this skin is gonna be $4 to $5 billion. And it's gonna be high in demand. So most likely, I'm gonna sell it for $6 billion. So now for the new offer, they have Jet of the Exalted One, Nightly Blossom, and Dracu Cutie. These two items just came out, by the way. But Jet of the Exalted, low demand, it might be worth like $3 billion. But it's not trading that much. So we have to take that into consideration. Nightly Blossom might be 2.5 and Dracu Cutie might be like 600 million. I guess a rough estimate is going to be $6 billion. Maybe like 6.5. But once again, some of these are low in demand. In my opinion, I would decline the offer. They may be the same value, but this one is more in demand. Let's try this one, Pearl of Rebellion. If I look it up, it's going to tell you right here, $36 billion. I'm going to be honest, I want an offer of $43 billion. With high demand items, I want 15% margin every single time. But that's just me, of course. For you, it could be less. So they're offering Mech Bow, Radiant Executioner, and Frostbite. So this one, $12 billion, $12 12 billion and maybe 9 billion. Actually, we'll say $8 billion. I mean, to be honest, in a real trade, they're not gonna offer you 42 billion, but let's say that's what you want. So they have to give me another item that's worth $10 billion. So now we have the Mech Bow, Raiden Executioner, 2 Melody, 1 Jet of the Exalted, and 1 Apple Cider. So in total, $42 billion. Now, would you accept this? Let me know down below in the comments. But now let me try one that's even more expensive. So I'm gonna put Purr, Seastrom, and Neon Beats. So Purr, 36 billion, and for Seastrom, I'm not sure. If I would have guessed, at least 20 billion. So I'm trading $58 billion, and they're gonna offer in total 60 billion. But like I said before, 15% margin. So I want in total $66 billion, and they're gonna do that, of course. You guys have to always keep those margins in play. Do not trade with your feelings. If you trade with your feelings, you're gonna lose a lot of money. Let's say, for example, this skin right here, Bubbly, you want it really bad. Do not lose value just because you want that Fisch skin. It's not worth it. You can eventually make some decent money while also getting the skins you want. So right now, they offer $65.5 billion. It's just below my 50% margin, but it's fine. I would accept it. But I mean, in a real trade, I would not do it. But I'm telling you right now, for the most part, you have to look at each item one by one, because this one could be low in demand, high in demand, medium demand, and so on. But for the mock trade, we're going to keep it simple. But now for the aquarium, it's a little bit different. Let me show you some examples. These items are traded pretty often. So for the Shrouded Golden Sea Pearl, you could sell it for $350 million. But if they're not selling, you could try 300 million. So for example, let's say you want to sell it for $350 million, right? If nobody's buying it, drop it by $25 million. So you would drop it 325, 300, 275, and 250. So maybe at most, I would go down $275 million and nothing less, unless the market crashes. So a Spirit Sea Mine, $300 million. It's been this price for a very long time. But if you want to sell it fast, definitely sell it for at least 200 million or 250 million. But like I said before, the market is crashing pretty hard. It's high in demand, but there's a lot of supply. Spirit Speed Core, you can sell it for $60 million each. You can get Spirit Speed Core so fast. For the Fossilized Plus You Sword, you could sell it for $65-75 million. If I'm being honest, for me, I was selling them at 50-55. But let's say, for example, you go to a new server and you want to sell the Fossilized Plus You Sword. You could start at $75 million and then drop it by 5 million. So 75, 70, 65, 60, and so on, until somebody buys it. But I feel like you'll sell it pretty fast at $50 million. Awakened Nithal, sell it for $50 million. Now this one is kind of weird. In one day, I sold a bunch of Awakened Nithals for different prices. For the low, it's 40 million. For the high, 70 million. So if I were you, start at 70 and make your way down by $5 million. For the Morn Moonstone, $500 million. Or realistically, 400 million. It's kind of hard to get it because you get it by appraising only. So yeah, it could take a lot of time and it's pretty tedious. I'm gonna be honest, I sold one for $500 million pretty recently, but if you're not patient, you could sell it for $400 million. Now Festive Relic is pretty unstable. I recently sold 2 of them for 125 and 135, but with the relics, try to lower your price by $5 million. So if you offer 150 and nobody's buying it, drop it to 145. If 145 is way too high, keep on dropping it by $5 million. And that's what I did, and I sold it at 135 and 125. So I made a decent profit. And for the Santa Relic, $500 million. But let's say, for example, it's not selling at $500 million, I would drop it by 25 million. So it would go 500, 475, 450, 425, and 400, and so on. But I'm pretty sure it'll sell it above 450, to be honest. Now for the Ratsila, this one's a little bit tricky. The range for it is pretty huge. You could sell it for 25 or $75 million. Now for me, in recent times, I sold it between 20 to $35 million. But with the same model, start at $75 million and drop it by 5 million. And keep on going until somebody buys it. But I don't think I would go below 20 million for this one. Now for the Noxious Rock Bloom, this one sold for a lot of money. I believe I sold 3 for 60, 75, and $80 million. But for my situation, I wanted fast money, so I sold it below the market value. But if you're more patient, you could definitely sell it for like 150, $100 million, in that range. But even at 75 million, it took me some time to sell it. This item is pretty low in demand. But I feel like if you're a trader, you're probably really patient. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully you learned something from the trading plaza and make some decent money. And please try not to get scammed. And also at the same time, try to learn how to say no to certain trades. Remember, do not trade with your feelings. If you trade with your feelings, you're gonna be broke. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.